In the wake of Aurelius' death, the air was thick with anticipation and uncertainty. As a monumental figure in the New Testament era, Aurelius' influence was profound, and his passing marked a pivotal moment for his followers and detractors alike. The unfolding events after his demise were nothing short of extraordinary, reshaping the spiritual landscape and igniting discussions that echoed through history. Some saw these events as divine affirmations of his teachings, while others grappled with skepticism. For those who followed Aurelius, his death was not just an end but a beginning of a new chapter filled with revelations and transformations. These occurrences not only impacted those in immediate proximity, but also extended far and wide, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. The subsequent events unfolded with such intensity and significance that they continue to inspire reflection and debate to this day, encouraging us to explore their deeper meanings and implications for our understanding of faith and history. As Aurelius breathed his last, an inexplicable darkness enveloped the land, leaving onlookers in bewilderment. This phenomenon, documented in several historical and religious texts, cast a shadow over the region for hours, defying natural explanations. Many perceived it as a divine occurrence, a reflection of cosmic mourning or a celestial sign indicating the monumental change about to unfold. Skeptics argued for eclipses or seasonal patterns. Yet the abrupt and intense nature of the darkness suggested otherwise to believers. Theologians and historians today continue to debate its authenticity and underlying causes, but its immediate impact was undeniable. Villagers lit torches at noon while elders spoke in hushed tones about ancient prophecies. For followers of Aurelius, this darkness represented a confirmation of spiritual beliefs, aligning with predictions long held sacred. The occurrence symbolized more than a physical event, it was seen as an affirmation of Aurelius' divine mission, and its memory endured as a testament to transformative times. As the eerie shroud of darkness fell over the land, the reactions among those present were as varied as the hues of the twilight sky itself. Among the believers, there was a mixture of awe and fear, for they saw this as a manifestation of divine prophecy, a sign that validated the teachings they had fervently followed. The weight of the moment was palpable, as whispers and prayers echoed through their ranks, seeking comfort and understanding in their faith. Conversely, skeptics and non-believers offered more mundane explanations, attributing the phenomenon to a natural solar eclipse or meteorological anomaly. For them, this darkness was not a revelation but an opportunity to challenge the convictions of the believers, inciting debates that danced like shadows across the community. These disparate viewpoints created a tapestry of tension and intrigue, where the lines between belief and disbelief blurred, prompting profound reflection and reconsideration of long-held truths. The phenomenon of the sudden darkness following Aurelius' death carries profound prophetic significance. Many scholars argue that this occurrence was not merely a natural event, but rather a miraculous sign that fulfilled ancient prophecies. These prophecies often foretold the emergence of darkness as a divine intervention marking the passing of an extraordinary figure. In scriptural texts, darkness is depicted as a powerful symbol that denotes transformation or judgment. For the followers of Aurelius, this darkness was seen as an affirmation of his divine mission and a confirmation of his teachings. Skeptics may have dismissed it as coincidental, yet the alignment with historical prophecies persisted as a compelling narrative. Moreover, this event encouraged deep retrospection among those present, sparking renewed faith and compelling non-believers to question their stance. It represents a pivotal moment that merged existing beliefs with new revelations, underscoring the enduring impact of Aurelius on both historical and spiritual contexts. The tearing of the temple veil stands as a monumental event with profound religious implications. Within the context of ancient traditions, the temple veil was an integral part of the holy sanctuary in Jerusalem, separating the Holy of Holies, the most sacred space where the presence of God was believed to dwell, from the rest of the temple. This division symbolized a barrier between God and humanity. Thus, when the veil was torn asunder at the moment of Aurelius' death, it represented a dramatic shift away from long-standing practices and beliefs. Such an act was not just a physical change but a symbolic announcement that the barrier separating the human and the divine was removed. Scholars interpret this event as marking the end of an old covenant and the beginning of a new, more accessible relationship with the divine, one not bounded by rituals or geography. This tearing of the veil also indicated the democratization of spiritual access, suggesting that through Aurelius, all could now have a direct connection with the divine. The immediate reactions varied, with temple priests likely shocked and bewildered, as this moment signaled a potential upheaval in the religious order and status quo. In the heart of the sacred temple, an unthinkable disruption occurred. The veil was torn from top to bottom, marking a turning point in religious history. This veil, a heavy and imposing curtain, was all that separated the Holy of Holies from the rest of the temple, symbolizing the divide between humanity and the divine. The tearing of the veil wasn't just a physical rupture, it represented a profound spiritual shift, suggesting that the barrier between God and mankind had been removed. The priests, who were custodians of these sacred traditions, were struck with awe and fear. This sudden and inexplicable event caused ripples of shock and confusion within the temple ranks, challenging established beliefs and practices. Many saw it as an indication of a new era, a divine message breaking through human constructs. In this moment of upheaval, some priests began to question their understanding of the sacred texts, pondering if this extraordinary phenomenon was a fulfillment of long-awaited prophecies signaling a transformative change in their spiritual covenant. The tearing of the temple veil, a profound and symbolic event, has been interpreted by theologians across centuries with great reverence and intrigue. It represents the end of an era, and the dawning of a new religious consciousness. Historically, the veil served as a barrier separating the Holy of Holies, a most sacred space accessible only to the high priests, from the ordinary people. Its dramatic rending signified a monumental shift, breaking down the long-held separation between the divine and the human realms. Theologians argue that this act symbolizes the openness of a direct and personal relationship with the divine, no longer mediated strictly by temple rituals or priestly intercessions. This event is seen as a fulfillment of prophecies predicting a transformation in spiritual dynamics. Such interpretations have fostered discussions about inclusivity and access to spiritual enlightenment, encouraging believers to forge a more direct connection with the divine presence. By dismantling physical and spiritual barriers, this act has been considered a powerful testament to the evolving understanding of faith, inviting reflection on the nature of divine intimacy and its implications on personal belief systems. The interpretations of this emblematic scene continue to resonate deeply within faith communities, underscoring its enduring theological significance. The death of Aurelius brought with it a remarkable natural event that caught the attention of both the learned and the layman. An intense earthquake shook the very core of the land, a testament to the gravity of the moment. This seismic activity wasn't merely a random occurrence, its timing was too precise, linking it immediately with the passing of such a pivotal figure in the New Testament era. Contemporary accounts from historians and scholars of the time describe it in vivid detail, with many observing the quake's ferocity as a signal of profound Divine intervention? Geological studies, albeit years later, suggest a significant seismic line that runs through the region. However, beyond the science, people of the time viewed it as a shattering of the old ways, literally shaking the earth to make way for change. The earthquake extended its reach beyond the immediate area, impacting cities and towns that were historically vital. These places, intricately connected through trade and travel routes, felt the tremors deeply, prompting widespread reflection on what such a natural calamity meant during this monumental spiritual transition. The earthquake that followed Aurelius' death was not merely a local disturbance but a phenomenon of significant geographical reach. Historical accounts suggest that the tremors extended far beyond the vicinity of the initial event, affecting notable towns and landmarks. This seismic activity was reported in distant settlements and left a lasting impact on the infrastructure of the time. Roads cracked, buildings crumbled, and landscapes shifted, creating an indelible mark on the physical and societal structures of the region. Eyewitnesses from various locales documented the quake's broad effects, providing a mosaic of perspectives that highlight its expansive reach. The widespread damage and displacement forced communities into a state of reflection and adaptation, prompting many to consider the event as a divine sign. Amidst the chaos, stories of resilience and rebuilding emerged, as communities tried to restore a sense of normalcy. This earthquake, transcending borders, resonated with the collective memory of the era, underscoring the profound disruptions and transformations that Aurelius' death set into motion. The significance of the earthquake that occurred following Aurelius' death reverberated far beyond its immediate physical impact, echoing deeply through spiritual texts and historical prophecies. Ancient scriptures often interpret seismic events as divine messages or signs, and this earthquake was no exception. Predicted in some religious writings, such an occurrence was considered an omen or the fulfillment of forewarned events tied to divine intervention and judgment. It was seen by many followers of Aurelius as a manifestation of celestial confirmation, affirming the profound importance of the happenings at that time. Religious scholars have long debated the symbolic representation of the earthquake, viewing it as a metaphor for the shattering and rebuilding of spiritual belief systems transitioning from one era to another. The ground literally and figuratively shook, marking a paradigm shift in theological understanding and opening a new chapter in the spiritual narrative of Aurelius' followers. It served as a profound reminder of the power and unpredictability of a higher force, challenging believers and skeptics alike to reconsider their faith and the very foundation of their spiritual lives. In the aftermath of Aurelius' passing, a truly miraculous event gripped the attention of the entire region. Stories began to surface, capturing both astonishment and wonder among the populace. It was reported that revered saints, long since resting in their tombs, began to emerge. This extraordinary occurrence ignited fervor across communities, as venerated figures appeared alive. Their presence is tangible and undeniable. Witnesses from varied walks of life attested to these extraordinary moments, recounting how the saints, once thought lost to time, walked among the living once more. These miraculous appearances were not mere illusions but rather powerful testimonies of divine intervention, triggering a profound ripple of belief and skepticism alike. To believers, these resurrections served as affirmations of faith, embodying promises spoken in the scriptures. Yet, to skeptics, they posed an enigma, challenging the very fabric of their understanding. As stories spread, so did discussions of their significance, leaving an indelible mark on both hearts and history. demonstrating the enduring impact of Aurelius' life, and the profound mysteries that continued in his wake. Eyewitnesses describe the sudden surreal events following the saint's resurrection with a mixture of awe and disbelief. Accounts from this unprecedented happening come from diverse perspectives, some from enthusiastic followers of Aurelius, others from skeptical onlookers who couldn't deny the evidence of their senses. One account speaks of a woman who encountered a saint known to her family. A moment she recalled with tears of joy that shifted into deep contemplation. Such meetings were not isolated, as numerous reports of saints walking amongst the living stirred a mixture of faith, confusion, and fear across the communities. Believers saw these apparitions as affirmations of divine promises foretold, deepening their spiritual resolve. Skeptics, however, grappled with doubt, questioning the truth they were witnessing. The natural skepticism coexisted with an unsettling wonder that sparked debate. In this charged atmosphere, those once resistant found themselves reconsidering the teachings of Aurelius, contemplating whether these miraculous signs pointed to truths that demanded acceptance and re-evaluation of their beliefs. In the aftermath of the astonishing resurrection of saints, the theological implications swirled through the minds of both followers and skeptics alike. This event was not just a miraculous occurrence, it symbolized a profound affirmation of the teachings and divinity associated with Aurelius. For believers, the resurrection of the saints served as a tangible manifestation of life triumphing over death, thus reinforcing the promises made in the sacred texts. It resonated deeply with the hope of eternal life, a cornerstone of faith that Aurelius fervently preached. The spectre of risen saints, walking among the living, challenged those who doubted or outright opposed Aurelius's message. As these beings became living testimonies of a power beyond human comprehension, this phenomenon sparked a fervor that energized his followers, infusing them with a renewed sense of mission to spread his teachings far and wide. The theological dialogue ignited by this event compelled scholars and religious leaders to reconsider long-held beliefs, prompting a deeper exploration into the mysteries of faith and divinity that will echo through generations. In the heart of a tumultuous landscape, the Roman centurion, a figure hardened by years of battle and allegiance to the empire, stood transfixed at the unfolding events surrounding Aurelius' demise. This soldier, accustomed to the chaotic clamor of war and the disciplined order of Roman life, found himself at a crossroads of belief and duty. As the skies darkened and the earth quaked, something within him shifted. In a voice that soared above the silence of the stunned crowd, he proclaimed, "Truly, this was the Son of God." This declaration wasn't just a moment of personal revelation, it was a seismic cultural shift. The centurion's statement, reverberating through the ranks of his fellow soldiers and reaching the ears of local observers, challenged the perceptions held by Romans and local populations alike. His acknowledgement marked a pivotal intersection of faith and imperial duty, a moment where divine recognition transcended the boundaries of tradition, leaving an indelible mark on those who heard his words. The Roman centurion's declaration of Aurelius as the Son of God was a moment of profound significance, not just for his followers but also for the wider Roman and local populations. Historically, centurions were figures of power and authority, representing the might and order of the Roman Empire. Hence, when such a statement came from a centurion, it carried weight and influence. For the Romans, who viewed their gods and divine figures from a state-centered perspective, this admittance was unexpected and challenging. It forced them to reconsider their understanding of divinity, particularly coming from a professional soldier who was part of a system that prided itself on rationality and discipline. Locally, Within the socio-religious context, the centurion's words sparked curiosity and debate among the Jewish and other indigenous populations. This admission validated the beliefs of Aurelius' followers, lending credibility in a society already fragmented by diverse religious views. It marked a significant cultural shift, illustrating the intertwining of military authority with religious sentiment. This not only intensified the discourse around Aurelius' divinity but also initiated a transformation in how his teachings were perceived, broadening their appeal across different communities and social strata. Ultimately, the centurion's declaration acted as a powerful catalyst, helping Aurelius' teachings transcend beyond their immediate circle, igniting a broader movement that would eventually shape the course of history. Arleta's betrayal is one of the most shocking chapters in the saga following Aurelius's death. A close ally and confidant, Arleta was deeply trusted by Aurelius and his followers. Her intricate knowledge of the inner workings of their circle made her deceit particularly devastating. The revelation of her treachery uncovered layers of complexity and intrigue that no one could have anticipated. Reports suggest she was motivated by a mix of personal gains and external pressures, a puppet in a larger scheme to destabilize Aurelius's influence. Her actions had immediate and far-reaching ramifications. Trust within the community shattered overnight, leading to suspicion and fear spreading like wildfire. This fracture was exactly what those opposed to Aurelius hoped for, a weakening of his movement without the need for direct confrontation. Arleta's actions, once hidden in shadows, forced the hand of those who remained loyal. They had to regroup and fortify against this unforeseen challenge, striving to preserve the integrity of Aurelius's legacy amidst the chaos her betrayal unleashed. The revelation of Arleta's betrayal sent shockwaves through the early community of Aurelius' followers, inciting heated debates and discussions that reverberate to this day. Historians and theologians have long speculated about Arleta's motives, weaving together narratives of power, jealousy, and perhaps even fear. Some suggest Arleta's betrayal was a calculated move, possibly driven by the allure of personal gain or socio-political pressure, as she navigated a precarious position within a turbulent landscape. Others contend that it might have been an act of self-preservation or an involuntary misstep fueled by confusion in a time of unprecedented upheaval. The fallout from her actions was immediate and profound, sowing distrust among the disciples and challenging the nascent community's stability. It forced followers to confront their convictions and strengthen their resolve, ultimately deepening their commitment and invigorating the movement. Arleta's actions serve as a poignant reminder of the complexities and human intricacies that exist within foundational events, leaving a legacy of lessons on loyalty and the perilous entanglements of personal ambitions with spiritual missions. In the aftermath of Aurelius' death, something remarkable took place. His teachings began to spread rapidly across regions, capturing the hearts and minds of many who were hungry for spiritual guidance and meaning. This was not a mere coincidence, but a testament to the timeless nature of his message. Aurelius' teachings resonated with a diverse range of people, from the downtrodden to the influential, offering a newfound sense of hope and purpose. Communities started to form around the core principles he espoused, such as compassion, justice, and humility. These new gatherings not only provided a sense of belonging but also became a fountain of strength and encouragement, fueling a movement that would only grow in the coming years. As these communities multiplied, so did the stories of transformation and faith, each adding a layer to the remarkable impact of Aurelius' legacy. This wave of spiritual awakening set the stage for a dramatic expansion of his teachings beyond cultural and geographical boundaries, laying a foundational stone for future generations to build upon. In the aftermath of Aurelius' departure, several key followers emerged as pivotal figures in the rapid spread of his teachings. Among these devoted disciples, a few stood out for their fervor and dedication. For instance, Marcus, a former centurion, leveraged his strategic skills and military discipline to organize gatherings, converting soldiers and civilians alike. Meanwhile, Lydia, a merchant known for her keen intellect and persuasive speech, facilitated trade routes that doubled as conduits for the teachings, sparking interest in new regions. Their varied backgrounds and shared commitment to Aurelius' message underscored the universal appeal and adaptability of his doctrines, resonating across socio-economic boundaries. This grassroots movement relied not only on charismatic leadership, but also on the genuine transformation seen in the lives of its followers, providing a compelling testament to the enduring power of Aurelius' message, and ensuring its growth amid diverse communities. As we conclude our journey through these remarkable events that immediately followed the death of Aurelius, we're reminded of their profound impact and enduring legacy. Each event, whether it was the supernatural darkness, the tearing of the temple veil, the earthquake's reverberations, the miraculous resurrecting of saints, the centurion's stirring declaration, Arleta's betrayal, or the subsequent spread of Aurelius' teachings, forms a tapestry of historical and theological significance that has captivated generations. These moments not only marked a significant shift in religious thought but also forged a new path for countless followers who continue to draw inspiration from them. We invite you to delve deeper, explore diverse interpretations, and engage in thoughtful discourse about the meaning and implications of these events. By sharing knowledge and insights, we connect past lessons to present beliefs, enriching our understanding of faith and history. Thank you for being part of this exploration, and we encourage you to continue this conversation beyond the screen.